Alright guys, let's get into this. They're both really good, guys. How do you choose? How do you choose two products picked by a master distiller to get the flavor profile they want? Definitely feel the burn, I'll say that. Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? Welcome to the show. This is our first one together. How's my mic out there? Can you all hear me? Everything good? Thank you so much for being here, guys. It says we got 21 watching right now. I was expecting 0, so anything above 1, being my wife, is a win for me. So welcome on in, guys. I appreciate y'all being here. I got a couple things planned for today, so my wife poured me a couple blind reviews, blind samples earlier, and I am going to get into those at some point. So the other big thing we're going to be doing is uncorking the Wild Turkey Rare Breed, which I'm really excited about. I've heard the 2018 is a great batch. So I'm wondering which one you guys want to see first, I guess. You guys want me to do a blind sample, or would you prefer to see the uncorking? Let's see who we got in here. I saw Mike earlier. Welcome, Mike. JP Bama, down from Alabama. Good to see you. Had one from Australia here earlier, too. Welcome. Bourbon Earns in the chat here. Ernie, good to see you here. Follow Ernie on Twitter, guys. Or I'm sorry, on Instagram, guys. He's got some great posts he puts on there. Who else we got? Eric. Eric Waite's here as well. Guys, if you haven't been following Eric Waite already, you already should be. I shouldn't have to tell you guys, but he does great whiskey reviews. He's a wine sommelier who's moving on to whiskey now. He's a Scotch guy, so if you're a big Scotch guy, go on in, follow him. He does great stuff over at his channel. Lydia, how's it going? What are you guys drinking tonight? I figured I'd start with some Russell's Reserve. This is a store pick from here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Since we're doing Wild Turkey tonight, I figured I'd go with the Russell's Reserve, stick with that same flavor profile. I'm seeing some uncorkings in here. Uncorking first. I like Eric's idea there. Do the uncorking. Let it breathe while we do the blind tasting. That's a good idea. I think we'll get into that, guys. So this is the 2018 Wild Turkey Rare Breed. You guys can see it. Now, I've heard the 2018 batch is really, really good compared to the previous batches, actually. So we're gonna see if that's the case, but I'm excited to get into this one because I have heard it's really good. Goodness gracious. Just use the teeth, right? All right. Do a pop in the mic there. All right. Get this plastic off of here. Sorry if it's loud noise there, guys. I think I'm going to go with the Glencairn on this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait and ask you guys. Do you think I should use the Glencairn for this? Or, if you guys haven't watched my whiskey glass review, you guys should definitely go check it out. But I did pick up a neat glass from there. And this neat glass is actually made specifically for higher proof bourbons. So I think you should probably... for higher proof bourbons, I think this would be a good glass to use. Let me know what you guys think I should use for this when I pour it. It is Wild Turkey Rare Breed. It is 116.8 proof, JP Bama. And again, this is the 2018 batch made by Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey, of course, lots of products. Wild Turkey, I've actually got the 101 right back here in case we decide we want to do a side-by-side on the fly here. But Wild Turkey 101, Wild Turkey 101 Rye, Russell's Reserve, of course, which I said I was drinking previously. They make a whole bunch of different products. The Russell's Reserve store picks that I've had are some of the best picks out there. I mean, I'm a big Knob Creek pick guy as well. I love me some Knob Creek just because of the proof. But Russell's Reserve is definitely up there for store picks, so... I'll tell you what, I'll pour one in the neat glass and one in the Glencairn. How about that? Then we can see if we can do a difference, if we can notice any difference in the taste or the smell. All right, I did pour one in the neat there as well. We'll let them both breathe a second. And then I will move on to one of the blind tastings. Before I get into the blind tasting though, guys, I just want to tell you a little bit about me and my channel. So I have been into bourbon big time for probably over a year at this point now. I really started out, I was really into bourbon barrel-aged beers. So I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we have Founders Brewery right downtown Grand Rapids here. They make a whole bunch of great craft beers. They're doing a lot of stuff with barrel-aged beers as well, so even IPAs. Stouts are the big one. I love barrel-aged stouts. We're known for our Kentucky Breakfast Stout, Canadian Breakfast Stout. I've got both of those, and they're both really good. I mean, I think this is the best beer city throughout the entire USA myself. Of course, I'm biased because I live here, but because I live in Grand Rapids, we're able to get all those good beers, and you know, I guess that was my gateway into bourbon. So I was loving all those barrel-aged beers, moved on into bourbon, and that was the end of the story. You know, bourbon took over at that point. It's an expensive hobby, but I would never trade it in. I love it so much myself. So, all right, let's go on and move on to sample number 1 here. So what I did was I had my wife come down here when I wasn't down here and pour 2 samples. I don't know if it's going to show up, A and B. And then she put what they are into 2 envelopes here, A and B. So let's just go ahead and start with A. That'll be the first we do. So for the first sample, I am going to do... I'm going to be using the Kentucky Bourbon Trail glasses. If you guys ever use these, what do you guys think of these compared to the other glasses? Let me know. I'll go ahead and pour the whole thing. Why not? Now, I told my wife to use any bottle that's open already in my bar, so I didn't want to open anything new. That's kind of for me to do, but anything that's open is fair game, which is probably going to be about 50-ish bottles, I would say. Don't tell her that, though, if she's still watching. Yeah, so there's a wide variety of what this could be, so I'm excited to go ahead and get into it. Let's go. So let's look at the color first. So in your light, guys, it looks really, really, really dark. It's not actually that dark. I'd say it's a medium golden color here. It's not as dark as what's showing up on the stream, so. Definitely a butterscotch nose, I would say, on this. I'm not getting really too much burn, though, on the nose in general. Now, again, I am using a bourbon trail glass for this, so the wider opening, which I talked about in my whiskey glass review video, wider opening isn't going to give you as much burn when you do smell the bourbon. So it kind of makes sense to me that I'm not picking up as much burn on it anyway, so it still could be high proof, I guess. It smells really good, guys. I guess let's go ahead and give it a sip here. It's got more burn going down. I'd believe the higher proof with the burn going down on this. It's not nutty at all. I always associate a nutty flavor with Jim Beam typically. If any of you are Jim Beam drinkers, you know the nutty flavor I'm talking about. I talk about it in my reviews. It's hard to describe, but to me it's kind of like a peanut smell. Not so much the salted, but kind of a dry roasted peanut smell to me. Smells great. You know, it coats the mouth really well. Medium to long finish, I would say. Medium finish. The flavor's good. I'm not really blown away by the flavor, honestly. If I was guessing, I'd say this is probably around I don't want to guess on live stream. Too late. I'd say it's probably like a $30-ish, $30 to $40 bourbon, I guess. Maybe that's what I would pay. It's good. Most bourbon I don't complain too much about. It's all pretty good to me. Proof wise, I'd say it's probably around 100 because it is giving me the burn. Say between 100 and 110 maybe. It's good. I mean, I'm a higher proof bourbon guy myself, so it's good. Yeah, Eric, definitely the Kentucky Hug. I get that usually anything over 115-ish, the Kentucky Hug's there for me. I'm a big barrel proof guy, so. JP Bama, yeah, Old Granddad 14. I had a bottle that I killed already, so I know it can't be that. I'm cheating a little bit. It's good stuff, guys. It's good stuff. Nothing wrong with drinking this at all. Honestly, I'm not even going to venture for a guess on this. I think whatever this is has changed quite a bit from when I first had this bottle. Because I go back to bottles to try to remember the flavor profiles I picked up. And nothing's really standing out to me for what this should be. So I'm not really going to guess what it's going to be. Like I said, I will say I think it's probably between that 100 and 115-ish proof, just based on the burn. Flavor is good, but if it's a high proof like that, it's probably more expensive too. Isn't bourbon drinking fun, guys? It's just a game. It's all a game. All right, let's take a look what it is, guys. Wow, this is a real surprise to me. Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style. That shocks me. I did do the review of this bottle a while ago, but the bottle was already near empty. This is why you do blind reviews. Again, I tell you guys this all the time. I put this as number 2 of my top bourbons in 2018 because I loved it so much. Every time I pick up the bottle, I get the chocolate. Chocolate's not coming through at all on this, though. No chocolate at all on this now. I don't know if it's just because it's been open so long. This has got to be probably the last pour of the bottle, I would think. She might have killed this whole bottle with this. So at some point, the bourbon can turn. I did a review of this I haven't put out for you guys yet, but during that review I said this 1920 stayed consistent the entire time. It was one of my favorite bourbons of 2018. Again, I said I put it at number 2. I've only been into bourbon about a year, so I don't have all the high-end, super high-end bottles. I've tried a couple samples from them, so I know some of the good ones and some that aren't, but overall 1920 is one of my favorite bourbons. In Michigan here, you guys can tell me in the comments if it's different elsewhere in the country, but in Michigan, we've been having trouble getting the 1920 now. It's kind of becoming like the 1910 where it's I don't know if it's on allocation or what, but it's harder to find. The 1910 is virtually gone here. 1920 is getting that way. Not quite yet. It's still available, I guess, some places, but my regulars haven't been able to find. I will say I was on about the proof at least. You guys can give me props for that. 115, I said between 1 and 115. So right about that, but I really thought in a blind taste this would score higher for me. I would have definitely, like when I reviewed this, it was way better to me. But anytime you can, guys, have someone blind a bourbon for you. See what your results are different. I mean, it's probably the same with Scotch. Eric can talk more to that with Scotch, but blind, it's like you really find out your flavor profile that you really go for. So definitely have someone do that for you. All right, guys. Okay, now on that last sip, I picked up chocolate. See, it's a mental thing, guys. It's a mental thing. Now that I know it's the 1920, I pick up chocolate. All right, let's go on into our wild turkey, guys. Super excited about this. It's been breathing now for probably 10 minutes. I got my Glencairn. I've also got the neat glass. So look at the color on this. These are pretty measly pours. I'm pretty embarrassed by this. We'll start with this. I can always get more in there. So this is a dark color. Now this, I'd say the one before this looked darker, and the 1920 was very dark, I think. In my light, I've got a light shiner right on me, but in this light it looks medium caramel color. It doesn't look that dark at all, really. We know this is higher proof, so it should be pretty dark. Just put up the neat glass as well. Looks dark in that light as well. All right, I'm really excited about this one, guys. So I have had the 16 or 17 rare breed. Have not had any since then, and it's probably been a year and a half, I'd say, since I've had any rare breed at all. So let's give it a try. Okay. Again, I said when I first started the stream that I was starting with a Russell's Reserve store pick, which is also a wild turkey product. This has that same wild turkey nose. Now, this wild turkey nose I describe is a almost a sour smell, I would say. It's kind of like, if you guys have ever had a sour beer is really coming back, at least in Grand Rapids with the craft beer craze. The sour flavor, a very minute amount of that is coming through on this nose. You can smell the wood in this as well too. I don't know the age on this. I don't, honestly guys, before my reviews, I don't normally research too much because I don't want to give away any flavor notes I might pick out when I'm nosing or tasting the bourbon. So I didn't do any research on this. I don't know the age on it. If anyone knows in the comments, you can let me know there. Yeah, Eric, it is definitely lighter than the last one, even just looking at them glass to glass. You guys can tell the difference. Yeah, that's darker still. Definitely the wood coming through. It smells light, honestly. No burn. With the Glencairn, I usually get quite a bit of burn. If it's a higher proof, which this is 116. Smell, I'd say like a light citrus note I get in this. Maybe like fresh pear and fresh green apple. That kind of smell you would get. Which for high proof, you usually don't get those types of flavors coming through. All right, I want to do the neat glass as well. See if it makes any difference at all. I get no nose on this at all with the neat glass, which is really odd. I did a Stag Junior out of the neat glass, and it was incredible. The nose was so much better with the neat glass compared to a Glencairn. Of course, I did this off camera. But with this one, there's nothing really coming through at all. Honestly, it's just you can barely smell anything at all. Hard to believe, but all right, let's go back for a taste with the first one here, guys. Cheers. Little bit of burn on the tongue. Fresh fruit flavors on the tongue come through. Little bit of oak is still there. I'd say this is a light vanilla and a light caramel flavor. It's not. It's good. It is really good. It's that sour wild turkey taste, which if you guys like that wild turkey flavor profile, this is probably the best offering I've tasted of them, at least. The 101 actually is very similar to this to me. Oh God, now I want to do a side by side. I do have to work tomorrow, so I got to be careful, guys. But I will say this has given me the Kentucky hug even more than the Old Forester did. I think that's probably just because of the Old Forester being so low in the bottle. But it's got really good flavors, guys. If you like wild turkey, like I said, I do think this is probably their best offering. I am curious to see in about a month or so if this bottle is going to open up at all, what different flavors I'll get. Anyone who's had the rare breed or has experience with it, let me know what different notes you guys got. This is good. This is good. I'm not as blown away as I thought I would be with it. I've heard so much hype about the 2018, and again, who knows, in a month or so it might get better. It's not bad by any means. I would definitely pay the $45 I think it was again for this, and I'll definitely be drinking it a lot. But I think Wild Turkey 101 compared to the rare breed, it's half the price. I mean, it's half the price for the 101, and 101 is, in my opinion, okay, I don't know if I want to say this either. In my opinion, 101 is probably the best budget bourbon you can find. It's available everywhere. Locally, it's $26, and in Michigan, we typically have higher prices than other people in general. It's probably cheaper than the rest of the country. You guys can let me know, but I just think Wild Turkey 101 is so good. The proof, I mean, 101 proof bourbon for $26, and you always get that sour sweetness with the Wild Turkey products. It's still here on the rare breed for sure. It's really good. It's really good. I just think I'd rather buy 2 101s than 1 rare breed myself. But I think I'll circle back. If we get time at the end of the stream, guys, I'll go ahead and pour the 101. We'll do a side-by-side and see what I think. And then we'll have to do a blind side-by-side to see what I really think. Because apparently I don't know what I think when I drink them normal. So, but again, really good. Yep. All right. All right, guys, let me catch up on the chat a little bit here. I haven't been looking at all. Yeah, Ernie, I think it's just very similar to the 101. To me, it's just, I don't know. I'm going to give it a couple weeks, maybe a month. We'll see if it changes. Mike, $22. I mean, come on. You can get 3 of them for almost the same price. That's ridiculous. That's a great deal. Eric, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. C917, I still got a bottle in my on my bar there. It is so good. Something about those C batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, it's just so good. Eric, did you have the C918 or not? Because I thought the C917 and the C918 were the best of all of them for the last 2 years. At Costco, they actually randomly got some C917 a couple before, and they had them marked at the regular Elijah Craig price, actually. So I bought up a whole bunch of, like 6 or 7 of them. They had more, don't worry guys, I left some for the rest of the bourbon people, but I couldn't pass it up. $30 for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. When I got to the register, I even asked him, I said, are you sure it's the right price? He said, yep. So I'm not gonna turn down $30 bourbon, you know. But yeah, oh my gosh, the C917, that was so good. I was so lucky to come into those bottles. I'll tell you, that's really what got me into bourbon to start. That was about a year ago when I got into bourbon, and I was first starting to hunt. It was like a gold mine, and then now I'm just waiting on the rest of the bourbon karma to catch up come Buffalo Trace Antique Collection season. I'm trying to get my hands on some of those. That's the hard stuff to do. So, all right, guys. I'm about ready to go on to number 3, I guess. I should say blind sample. Blind sample number 2, because I did so well with the first one. Hopefully this was a more full bottle. We'll see if we can get a different flavor. But let me get a drink of water here. Clear my tongue a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, state minimum. In Michigan, we actually have state minimum for all our liquor. And state minimum for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, I think, is $59 or $69.99. And that's why I couldn't believe it when I went to Costco. I was like, oh my gosh. My wife was there by herself actually once, and I told her, buy as many bottles as they will let you. Like, just buy as much as you can, because I'll tell you, it's so good. And the 917, I'm so glad it was that batch too. So $56, Ernie, that's not a bad price. $70, that, like I said, that's what we pay here, but throughout the rest of the country, it's cheaper, it seems. So still haven't found one of the old Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs. I wish I could. Jason over at the Mash and Drum had a live stream recently, and he reviewed that one of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs, and that stuff, man, I just want to get my hands on even a sample of that would be good. So, all right, guys, let's go on to our second blind sample here. B. I think I'll go with another Bourbon Trail glass for this. All right. Color to me looks light. You guys can let me know how it looks compared to the previous ones. There's the rare breed. It looks darker than the rare. Looks darker than the rare breed to me. Forester. About the same, honestly. So this could be another high proof one. My wife's trying to put me in the hospital, I guess. Eric, I have not had Angel's Envy. My local store actually just got like 5 or 6 bottles today. I almost went and picked it up. We went to the distillery tour in Kentucky to Angel's Envy. The tour was okay. It was average, but the bourbon was good. It was so smooth to me, though. Too smooth, almost. I've heard great things about the Angel's Envy rye. It's finished in rum casks, if you guys haven't had that. It is supposedly supposed to be really good, the rye is. A lot of people rave about the Angel's Envy. I wasn't really that impressed when I went there. Angel's Envy was, I think, our 4th tour of the day. We did a whole bunch of tours right around downtown Louisville. So I was quite intoxicated, I guess. But, you know, it'd been a while since I drank anything. So it should have given me a pretty clear taste. It was super, super smooth. Yes, I mean, Eric, the port finish really made it so smooth and sweet too. So I think that if you're into finished bourbons, and I know Eric reviews a lot of finished scotches. I've seen him on his channel do that. It's probably going to be up your alley. Here though, it runs us. It's expensive. It's like $70. I don't know how much you guys pay. The rum cast rye finish is up to almost 100 now in Michigan. It's ridiculous. But yeah. So let's go into this, guys. I'd say this smells like a medium proof. It doesn't really smell that great to me, actually. It's got kind of a funky smell, which is kind of odd. You get vanilla and oak under the surface of it. It's got a butterscotch smell too, but it smells like it's almost a butterscotch that's turned a little bit. All right, let's give it a sip, guys. This feels pretty high proof too, actually. So again, with the color, it looked dark. It was pretty dark, about the same as the Old Forester. I'd guess it's probably around that same proof, between the 100 and the 120 range. It kind of tastes a little odd to me, though. I don't know. It doesn't taste like, again, not something I remember trying myself. But I am doing these back to back. I'm trying to drink, like as you saw, a little bit of water between, but drinking bourbon back to back can definitely change the flavor on them. Butterscotch comes through on the flavor too. Little tongue burn there. Yeah, it's got to be 115 to 120. Definitely feels like a higher proof. It's not bad. If it's a budget bourbon, I would say this would probably be a good option. It's easy to drink, and high proof, again, I love. But maybe wouldn't be the first thing I would go to if I was just looking for a drink. If I had my choice, you know. It's definitely butterscotch forward, I would say, guys. Not bad, but I think it does have a little funky taste to me. Yeah. I saw someone earlier, sorry I missed the name, said their Stag Junior they tried, thought they had a little funk in there too. JP Bama said that. And yeah, I've never had that with the Stag Junior. I've had 2 or 3 different batches. A funky gym sort of smell, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Stags I've had have been great, though. I have a batch 9, and I think the one I tried before was a batch 7. I've heard good things about the batch 11, actually, which I haven't seen. But, yeah. It's good. Stag Junior's good stuff, guys. I have a review up. If you guys haven't seen that yet, go over and check it out for sure. Medium finish, guys. It's decent. That sip I just took there had like an alcohol vodka taste finish. So, I don't know. It's not my go-to, I guess. We'll see what it is. Again, I haven't been very good at these lately, so it could be some super expensive bourbon with my luck. So, let's find out, guys. Wow. Okay, this is a Maker's Mark Private Select bottle, and this is from Total Wine when I was down in Kentucky a couple months back. This shocks me that I didn't pick up any coffee flavor with this. Now when I go in and smell it and taste it, I'm going to pick up coffee flavor. It's mellowed out so much. When I first bought this bottle, it was nothing but espresso when I drank out of this bottle. Let me go get it for you guys. I haven't gone through too much of this, but this is from Total Wine. Hopefully the back will show up for you guys. There, you can see the breakdown of it there. So seared, three for the seared, 1 with Maker's Mark 46, and 6 of the roasted French mocha. 6. So when I first got this bottle, it was ridiculous. It was nothing but like an espresso in your mouth. And that's the truth. I haven't drank this bottle in... I went to Kentucky back in August, early August. So I haven't been to Kentucky in... Well, it's been almost 5-6 months maybe. And I drank 2 or 3 drinks out of this bottle within the first month, I would say. And I'm a big coffee guy myself. It was really good at the time. It was really good, the high proof. This is a 55.7%. So 111.4%, 111.4 proof. So it is high proof. The burn was coming through, and it's definitely dark. I think that's the staves they used to make the bourbon. And but I'll tell you, now it just tastes like funky Maker's Mark, I guess. Honestly, it's not that good. I hate to say it. I have a budget bourbons review coming up for you guys, and I want to talk to you guys about this too to see what your thoughts are on it. I'm going to be doing a budget bourbons review, best budget bourbons. I couldn't decide on which one to do because there's so many budget bourbons out there. It's so hard to decide. I narrowed it down to 12. Yes, 12 bourbons. I know. And my thoughts were, I'm sorry to get off on a tangent here, guys, but my thoughts were I was going to do 3 round 1 videos of 4 bourbons each. So I didn't want to do 6 bourbons in one video. My tongue's just going to be fried if I try to do that. So I figure I'll try to do 4 bourbons per video. It'll still give me a chance to really be able to pick out the flavors and the profiles, but I really wanted to do a budget bourbons video, but I just couldn't decide which bourbons to do. So I'm thinking I'm going to do 3 initial rounds, and I'm going to pick a winner from each round, and I'll move that forward to the final. And then in my final, I'll bring back 1 bourbon that I didn't choose that I think should have made it. So let me know what you guys think about that. Is it too many videos? Like, is too many videos? I was thinking about doing kind of like a mini series for it. But is it too much? Would you guys rather just have 1 video that's just putting the top 4 or 5 bourbons maybe voted on by you guys or something. I was gonna make a video about that too after the series was done. Just do another budget bourbons video that had the top 4 or 5, at least in my area. I can't really speak to other countries or anything, but let me know what you guys think, what you guys would prefer. I personally would like to do multiple videos because I want to put things that are the same proof near each other. So Maker's Mark was one of the things in my that I was going to include, obviously, because it's Maker's Mark. I haven't actually had the base Maker's Mark ever. Honestly, I don't think so, at least that I can remember. I did buy a bottle of the Maker's Mark cask strength. I jumped right to that, and it was good, but it almost was medicinal to me. And I'm thinking I'm gonna get the same thing with Makers, just watching from other people's reviews and stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys would prefer. Would you like multiple videos? I'd rather put out more videos for you guys, but I didn't know if it would be too difficult with YouTube's analytics and everything, searching multiple videos. That's why I figured I'd do maybe my final 4 or 5. I'll do an additional video with the top 5 overall. That way it'll give people something to search for that too. So let me know what you think. I'm not even getting coffee in the nose. No. 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 I like high proof, so it's still decent. Still decent, but this bottle was $60, I think. I don't think I'd pay $60 for this again. Again, comparing it to our Wild Turkey 101, that's 3 Wild Turkey 101s. It's a no-brainer. You got cocktails, you got drinking neat, drinking on the rocks. You can do anything you want with Wild Turkey 101. So, just my thoughts, guys. But definitely let me know how many videos you guys want to see if you guys like the videos. Bourbon Earn says multiple videos all the way, definitely. Yeah, there's worse notes than coffee, that's for sure. Maybe that was the funk I was getting, JP Bama, was the funky old coffee smell, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, Bourbon Earn, I was thinking that too. More videos, more people to watch, I know, but most people, when I was looking through YouTube, it's like they have one budget bourbons video. So I didn't want to be like that guy, if that would be a thing, but just got to give the people what they want, you know? You got to give people what they want. So if they want it, let's do it. And I've been talking to Brad Campbell. Sorry to call you out if you're not here, or if you are here, but he's been great to talk to, another bourbon enthusiast. He's new to bourbon, and I've been kind of just talking to him about what I like and flavor profiles, things like that. And you know, he helped me pick the top 12 to go with. So I guess I'll just tell you guys my top 12 while I have you here. I'm thinking Maker's Mark, Bullet Bourbon, Elijah Craig, Woodford Reserve, Four Roses, Yellow Label, base label. Ezra Brooks 90, that was actually someone from Russia who suggested that. We have it here, so I figured I'd go ahead and get that. Jim Beam White Label. I figured I'd include Jack Daniel's number 7 just because it's one of the most popular whiskeys out there, so I figured I better go ahead and do that too. What else am I missing, guys? Woodford Reserve, did I say that? Oh, I think I did. Knob Creek 100 for sure. I can't remember all of them, guys. Let me know what else should be included in the blind flight for you guys. I'll add it in, or I probably already have thought of it and just forgot now because I've been drinking. So, but yeah, I'm excited to film those. I was planning to film them a long time ago, and I just got sidetracked. We just got a new baby. We just had a new baby here, and a couple weeks back, he's happy and healthy. That's him there, guys. Good-looking kid. There's my other son. I didn't show you guys this earlier. I was going to, so. And there's my wife there, so. Exciting time, busy time for us, guys, but let me catch up on chat here a little bit. Eric, wait, I have had Old Rip Van Winkle 10 year when I was in Kentucky. Haven't been able to get my hands on any of the other Pappies at all. I've been looking everywhere, and no one will set aside a bottle for me. Michigan is just such slim pickings. Everything that comes through Michigan goes through Detroit. Anyone from Detroit can attest to that because Grand Rapids doesn't get much at all. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, Eric, I was thinking that too. There's so many opinions for budget bourbons out there. It's like, how do you decide what to go with? I don't know other countries what they get. Usually it's totally different labels and brands completely. So I figured I'd just go with the base stuff. What's up, the Dan Trout? Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Got to go with what I see, local. So that's what I decided to do. But if you guys want multiple videos, I'll definitely bring it to you. I'm fine doing it. So any excuse to drink is good with me. Eric, yeah. Huge Mickey Mouse guy. Anyone with kids can attest to that. Mickey Mouse and Paw Patrol. My God. Give me a break. All right. Let's see. We got 15 minutes left, guys. What do you think? You guys want me to do the 101 next to the rare breed? Honestly, I kind of want to do it myself. So even if you say no, I'll probably do it anyway. So let's do that. Get some more water here. Mike Snook, Henry McKenna Bottled and Bond. That's a great option too. I do have an unopened bottle, so I could definitely throw that in too. But is that available everywhere in the country? I don't know. Now that it's been awarded Whiskey of the Year from the San Francisco Spirits Award and going up in price, I didn't know if it was available or not. So I figured. Who knows though? Me tasting blind stuff, it's probably gonna be. I'll probably end up picking some. Probably Jim Beam White Label or something. So who knows? All right. Yeah, Eric, I feel you. When I get into something like whiskey or bourbon reviews, things like that, I go all out. I get obsessed, and I want to do it all day, every day. I love it. I want to look for bourbons and scotches all the time. Every time I go into one of Eric's streams or watch one of his videos, I want to immediately go find the whiskey. It's a problem, really, but my wife keeps me in check. Thank goodness. Someone has to. So, all right, guys. Got the wild turkey here. I better get a Glencairn just to be consistent with nose and taste. Hang on. All right, we're back. First time breaking this bottle. Not my first, but ooh, nice. All right, let's go in, guys. Okay. All right. So, Wild Turkey 101 is going to be on your right. Right? Is that right, guys? I don't know. My left. So, Wild Turkey 101 and Rare Breed is on top there. So, looking at the color. Gosh, they're almost the same, aren't they? Almost the same. All right, this is Wild Turkey. More oak on the Rare Breed for sure. I definitely feel more oak. I have no idea the age of this, guys, so let me know if you know the age on these. But I definitely pick up more oak in the Rare Breed. I'll say that. Same nose as far as the sour note I talked about with Wild Turkey. All right, let's do the 101 first here. Cheers, guys. It's just solid. It's just so solid. It's so solid. It's so solid. $22? Come on. Come on. I actually feel a lot more burn out of the rare breed. The flavors are almost the same though, guys. These are both fresh popped bottles. So, thank you, Eric. 6, 8, and 12-year-old bourbons. I wonder what the 101 is. Thank you, though. Yeah, it's almost the same flavor profile. It really is. It really is. The only difference to me is really the proof. In the age a little bit. It does smell and taste a little bit older. If you prefer that oaky flavor, Wild Turkey is so... It's got those sour notes, those sweet sour notes that not a lot of the oak comes through on the flavor. It's more on the nose to me. They're both really good. They are both really good though, guys. Always do blind reviews. I'm definitely going to be doing a Wild Turkey blind review session completely. Just comparing definitely the 101 to the rare breed. I'll do them side by side like I'm doing now for you. I'll probably pick up the base bourbon as well. We don't have any 101 rye over here either. I've heard incredible things about the 101 rye. I wish I could find a bottle of that. I'm not as big of a rye guy myself. I'm more just bourbon guy myself, but man, I've heard great things about the 101 rye. I've heard it's incredible. Let me know what you guys think of that if you've had it. All right, I better keep my hands consistent here, guys. Eric, 6 years before coming out of the barrel. No other info available. Okay, so probably 6 then for most of the 101, I would think. So I guess some of those older 8 to 12 year do come through a little bit more on the rare breed. So if you like the older bourbon, the older rare breed might be good for you. I hope you guys don't think that rare breed is a bad bourbon by any means. $45 for a barrel proof is actually a really good price, at least in Michigan. I got it for $45. So that's a really good price. And at that price, I'd still pick this up all the time. When this bottle's gone, as long as it's available, which it usually is, I think the rare breed is. So I'll definitely get another bottle of this. This is good stuff. So, of course, the 101 I'll keep stocked always. The 101, I guess, drinking them side by side does taste a little bit lighter. Not quite as rich as the rare breed. I think I honestly prefer. Well, I honestly prefer the richness, of course. Anything higher proof is great by me. Anything over 115, I typically add water to. I didn't bring a dropper down tonight, so we'll have to do that later. When I do my side by side with these guys, I'll go ahead and make sure I add water to the rare breed to see how close it is to the 101. I would like to see that actually. Let's see. Mike, it just hit stores today. The Wild Turkey Rye you talking about, 101? Yes. I'll have to keep an eye out for that if it's going nationwide. Bourbon Urn, yes, you've had the 101 Rye. It's awesome. Yeah, rumor has it about the Wild Turkey Forgiven. It's the rye, the 101 Rye, and the normal 101 mixed together. If any of you have had Forgiven, let me know how that is. I've never been able to get a bottle of that. I know it's discontinued now, but rumor has it that bourbon was made by mistake, actually. So, yeah.
I'd be interested in trying that. I definitely want to find the 101 rye. It's not an expensive product, I don't think. I think it's probably about the same as the 101. It's just not here in Michigan, and hopefully it will come in Michigan. But I'm not as big of a rye guy, guys. I've got a couple bottles of rye. I've got the Sazerac rye, Baby Saz. I've got Old Overholt Bottled and Bond, which is, let me tell you, Old Overholt Bottled and Bond is completely underrated. If you guys have had Old Overholt, the normal one, and you like it, Old Overholt Bottled and Bond is just great. It's awesome. It's got a sweetness to it that normal ryes, the other ryes I've had don't really have. I prefer the sweetness, I guess, a little bit myself, but yeah, I've got the Saz Rye, bottled, Rittenhouse Rye 101. I've got the Kentucky Owl, which I've got back here. Have not popped open the Kentucky Owl yet. This is batch 2, guys. I've heard the batch 2 isn't as good as batch 1. I still want to try it though. Expensive bourbon, but I've never had one. It was one of my unicorn bottles just from when I started into bourbon, so I had to get it if it was available. So Dustin, rare breed is $36 in Wisconsin. My God, buy as much as you can, please. Dan Trout, that was my first drink of the day when I came into the stream today. Russell's Reserve store pick. A little bit left. I have 2 different Russell's Reserve store picks, and they're both great. They both have that wild turkey sour note. The one wild turkey product I didn't like was the Russell's Reserve 10-year. That was way too much oak for me. Let me know if you guys picked up a whole bunch of oak in the 10-year, because for me, I don't like overly oaked bourbons. I don't like too much rye. I don't like too much oak. But my gosh, the Russell's Reserve 10-year was just way too much oak for me. I couldn't even. It was just too much. It was too oaky for me. And it's only 10 years. Like, I've had 12, 15-year bourbons. Now Creek 14 doesn't taste anything like that much oak. So, I don't know. Ernie, the Rittenhouse Rye is fantastic. My wife hates it when I use that word, but the Rittenhouse Rye is great. It's awesome. Incredible. No, for $25, $30, I think it is here. Rittenhouse. I've got a review up of it if you want to go check it out, but I'd say it's probably, in my opinion, the best mixer for a budget rye mixer for cocktails. So Sazeracs, Old Fashions, Manhattans, that's probably the best rye. It's better than Sazerac rye. Sazerac rye has more sweetness to me, which I prefer straight. So I'll drink Sazerac rye straight, and I'll mix Rittenhouse with my cocktails. And then Old Overholt, I'll drink both ways. $39, Eric. Wait, man, holy cow, that's craziness. What a deal! If you guys can find that, please do. Well, I've got a lot of bourbon left. I'm gonna finish it all for sure. I'm loving talking to you guys. I thought this was gonna be a little rough for our first one, guys. I've had a great time. I hope you guys have had a good time too. I know we're hitting 10 o'clock, but I kind of want to keep going. If you guys want to keep chatting, I'll hang in here for a little bit longer. Now this is the Old Forester 1920 again. This is now compared to all the rest of the wild turkey products. It smells darker, more chocolatey. I agree. $19.20 solid too. It's just solid. I missed it. Did anyone say they've tried that Russell's Reserve 10-year or not? Eric, yeah, Rittenhouse is fabulous. Agreed. It's good stuff. Fabulous. It's awesome stuff. And I'll tell you what, I have not had the Pikesville rye, which is just the older product of the Rittenhouse rye. I like Rittenhouse so much that I need to get a bottle of Pikesville, but I think it's $80 here. I mean, I gotta get it at some point, but because I'm not as much of a rye fan, I just haven't seeked it out, I guess. I did the other day find in the store here a Knob Creek cast strength rye, which I've heard great things about at a good price. I think it was 50-ish bucks. That's been hard to find around here, at least. I don't know about the rest of the country. Still have not had the twice barreled rye, which is showing up now, at least at Binny's, I know, in Chicago and other areas. Nothing here still, but hopefully it's coming our way. I want to crack that one open too, but I'm going to be doing an uncorking either on the live stream or in one of my videos for you guys for that. So, Eric, yeah, I don't want to jinx it. No lags or disconnects. Yeah, that's good to hear. Force is strong. Yeah, well, we'll see if that continues, I guess. All right, I'm going to finish up this rare breed, then I want to ask you guys a question. All right. After you finish a glass of bourbon or scotch, Eric, you can speak to this more because I'm not as big of a scotch guy. But when you go back in and smell the glass, what does it smell like to you? And if any of you have gone to any distillery tours before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I always get this with Buffalo Trace products, always, every time. I've never been to Wild Turkey's distillery before, so I don't know for sure, but haven't spilled or broken a glass yet. I'll tell you, I'm getting close though. All these high proof bourbons, Eric, it's getting close. Peter, I agree. The Russell's Reserve 10, it's okay. One-time bottle. I would never replace it myself just because of the oakiness. Peter, did you get a whole bunch of oak on it or not really though? I'm curious about that. Maybe I just got a bad bottle. Hard candy, JP Bama says. Dan Trout, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you coming, all right? Thanks so much. Cheers, brother. So to me, guys, I always get the smell of a rickhouse. Always. And if you've been to, we did the Buffalo Trace tour, so I know that rickhouse smell. It's just a rickhouse to me. It's the bourbon in the oak and the angel share smell you're getting. It's just, there's no better smell to me. I love that smell. I can't wait to go back to Kentucky and do some more distillery tours, some different places. Haven't been to Maker's Mark yet. Haven't been to Jim Beam. Haven't been to Four Roses. I've heard they're all really good. When we were there last time, we went to Buffalo Trace, Woodford Reserve. Woodford was beautiful, probably the most beautiful distillery I've ever seen. But the tour itself was not very good. It was very step by step. The samples, we got 2 samples, I think, which was a double oaked and a regular Woodford. Double oaked was good. It was just creamy. But it was gorgeous. The grounds were gorgeous. My gosh. It's probably the most beautiful distillery I've ever seen. We went to Old Forester, downtown Louisville. That was awesome. That was the best downtown tour. Michter's is opening soon downtown. Sorry, guys. Michter's is opening soon downtown. If you're going to Kentucky soon, Michter's is great. Michter's is a great distillery. I don't know about their tour, but I assume it's going to be awesome. It's supposed to be first class, I've heard. So, but Old Forester was awesome. We did the Evan Williams experience. We were there at 10 a.m., so it was average. I don't know. It was okay. If you like bourbon, you'll definitely enjoy it. And the samples were good. We got 4 or 5 samples at the end, which was nice. The base label and a couple other products. And I think they had a Evan Williams 12-year you could actually buy at the distillery. Distillery only release. 12-year. It was like $112 though. I was going to get a bottle, but I was like, that's too much for that. Ernie, yes, the Rickhouse smell and the Old Forester. Old Forester is the best. It's brand new. It's top of the line. When I was there, actually, I was able to get a store pick that the master distiller at Old Forester had actually just chosen. They had just picked a barrel and bottled it up for the distillery only. It was awesome to get that bottle. I can't wait to review that for you guys. When I was there at the distillery, I picked up a lot of fruit notes, so citrusy, light notes. Single barrel is usually 90 proof for Old Forester, so... but yeah, I picked up a lot of light notes, so I'm curious to see if it's going to hold true from my memory or not. It's, like I said, it's been about 6 months since we went, so... Peter White, I missed your response. Let me look up. Won't replace it. Did you Peter White, did you get a lot of oak notes on the Russell's Reserve 10? Eric, you've been to Four Roses, Wild Turkey, Bullet, Jim Beam, Maker's Mark, and Heaven Hill. What was your favorite? Heaven Hill I wanted to go to so bad just because of their shop. I think they even had the 14-year when I was there, and I have the 9 and the 11-year-old fits. I want to get the 14 so bad. I don't want to pay $250 on secondary though, so I'm not gonna do it. And I haven't even opened the 9 and the 11-year yet. I'm waiting to get a full flight to do if I do ever get the 14. So, Eric, I would love to take a trip to Scotland. That would be like bucket list material for me, just to check out all those. I mean, they're all so close to each other too, aren't they? It's like they're all close and together. All the distilleries in Scotland. I feel like if I went to Scotland and drank a bunch of scotch, I just would become scotch insane. I just feel like that. The Ardbeg 10 is really, really good, guys. If you're not a scotch person at all, but you're interested, if you're interested in scotch, start with Monkey Shoulder. I'll tell you that right now. Start with Monkey Shoulder. That's what I did. But watching Eric's channel, watching Scotch Test Dummies, watching a lot of other channels, Ardbeg 10 is really good. If you like peat smoke, if you're interested in smoky flavors at all, it is really good, guys. Really good. There's a couple bourbons that are smoky. High West Campfire is a big one, and I haven't had that, but I'm interested now that I've had Ardbeg 10. So, Maker's Mark, Eric, that was your favorite. I heard Four Roses was good too. Four Roses usually has some good stuff in their gift shop, I've heard. Ernie, Lux Row. Lux Row is newer. Isn't that a micro distillery? Peter doesn't mind oaky bourbon. Okay. So you did get an oakiness on it then. Sorry, guys. Hunter Evans, yes. Russell's Reserve 10 beat Rare Breed for you. Okay. Did you get oakiness on that? Let me ask you that. Did you get a lot of oakiness? Really? You don't remember the oakiness, Peter White? Ugh. For me, it was literally an oak bomb. It was more oak than I've ever had in any other bourbon ever, which is so weird. 10 years, you shouldn't be getting that, but it was. Maybe I'll have to try another bottle. I think it's 30. I can find it for $32 around here, so I can get another bottle. But I mean, I ended up using the Russell's 10 as a mixer because it was just too much oak for me, honestly. So, but to each their own, I guess, you know. Yeah, Eric, the whole dip in your own bottle thing, that's pretty cool. I did sign up as a ambassador for Maker's Mark, which is really cool. If you guys haven't done that, just go to makersmark.com. As long as you're 21, you can sign up as an ambassador for Maker's Mark. And they'll just send you a free gift every year, and they put your name on a barrel of bourbon along with like 10 other people. And when the time comes, they'll take that bourbon out of the barrel and go ahead and bottle it up for you. And if you come to Kentucky around that time frame, they'll give you a bottle of the bourbon for you. So mine's due around 2022 or 23, I think. So it's pretty cool. It's good for Maker's Markers. It's an incentive for people to go to their distillery. And it's incentive for us too, because it's like, hey, I was a part of this barrel a little bit, I guess. So pretty cool. And this year they sent us some cool socks. So if you guys follow my Instagram, you'll see pictures of the socks that we got this year for Maker's Mark. A little small for me, but I have big feet, so. Wild Turkey 10, y'all. So good. Yeah, Peter. Don't drink Pappy 23 if you don't like oak. Yeah. Honestly, Pappy 23, if I ever got a bottle, I would never pay secondary. I can't afford $1,500, but if I ever got one at retail, I think it would just sit on my shelf and I would wait to collect the rest of them, honestly. If I ever got the rest of them, I would do a side-by-side with all of them. That's what I would do. That's my plan. Eric, I have never made bourbon cornbread before, but I'll tell you what, it intrigues me. What is the bourbon you would use in bourbon cornbread? Budget, or, I mean, you're going to cook the alcohol out, right? Question mark. My wife will actually eat cornbread. She doesn't eat much, but she will eat cornbread, so I would love to know how to make that. Peter, have you ever had Rebel Yell 10-year? I have not. I have heard good things about Rebel Yell, though, in general. The Rebel Yell 10-year I've heard is the best of the offerings. Rebel Yell, is that a wheated bourbon? Remind me. I do like a wheated bourbon. Yeah, JP Bama. If you don't like, if you don't have $1,500, don't drink it. Yeah, that's right. I did actually, for the first time this year, I was a part of a raffle locally in Grand Rapids, and it was really fun. Just stood out in the cold in Michigan, waited for my number to get called, and it did get called. It did get called. I was excited. It was about 5th or 6th from the end, so all they had left was Old Forester 1910, which I have, but I have not cracked it open yet. So I had an option to get a Stag Junior or a Blanton single barrel, but I already had both of them, so I didn't want to go ahead and triple up on what I already have. I have 2 of the Blantons and 2 Stags, so I figured I'd go with the 1910, and at that time, it was when it was starting to be announced that it was on allocation or limited, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick that one up. Hunter, you picked up an Elijah Craig barrel proof at 131.4. Oh my, yes. Good for you. I'm jealous. Rico, how's it going? Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. Eric, Buffalo Trace cornbread. Elijah Craig in the original. Could you taste any difference in the cornbread? That's the question. Any difference at all? JP Bama, I'm sure you do like your cornbread down south. Yeah, that's a southern thing for sure. Heaven Hill makes the Rebel Yell 10. Yeah. Rebel Yell 10 is hard to come by around here, though, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's on and off. Like, I've seen some places that have it and others not at all. So I've only seen it probably once or twice, though. So it's definitely hard to find. I'll have to keep an eye out next time. I'm not even sure what the price is on that, but yeah, Elijah Craig barrel proofs, guys, are some of the best bourbons you can find, in my opinion. If you guys can find an Elijah Craig barrel proof, go for it. Even the worst batches I've had are better than 90% of the other barrel proofs I've had. So it's really good. Eric, no difference in the Elijah Craig or the Buffalo Trace. Didn't make a difference. Yeah, you probably cooked the alcohol out anyway, but I would imagine it would add more corn sweetness or something different there for that cornbread, but that's interesting. I'll have to look into that. One down, guys. 2 down. Clyde May, 110 proof. Okay, all right. I like it. Peter White, I just traded for 2 bottles of Rebel Yell 10. Will be history after 2019. Really? I had not heard that. So they're going to discontinue it, huh? That's even more incentive for me to go find one, I guess. So I'll talk to my local people and see if they have any leads, I guess. Gotta at least try it. I mean, I've heard anything below the 10 years really not worth getting, just from other reviews. But if I can find the 10-year for sure, I'll definitely get it. Most definitely. Any of you guys ever used this Canadian Glencairn before? I'm interested on your thoughts on this. So I talked about this in my whiskey glass review, but the whole point of a Canadian Glencairn is to be a hybrid product between a rocks glass and a Glencairn. So it's too big of an opening to really pick up anything on the nose. It's just all gone. I mean, I get the sour note. with the Wild Turkey Russell's Reserve product. This is the Russell's Reserve store pick. But this definitely could be a rocks glass. This is probably a 10 or 11 ounce glass. Just wondering if you guys have any experience with that. I picked up all the different glasses for the whiskey glass review I did, and it's so tough to choose which glass to use at night when you want to have a drink. My gosh. The Glencairn, I picked up a Tribeca glass, which if you don't know what a Tribeca is, it's pretty interesting. It's wider lip on the glass and narrower at the base. I guess I'll grab one for you guys in case you haven't seen it. That was close, Eric. I almost had a glass break there. But this is the Tribeca glass, which if you look at it, it's narrow at the base. So when you're swirling your whiskey, it's really hard to do, actually. But the wide mouth is good if you're taking in a high-proof bourbon. So Tribeca is interesting. If you guys follow it, it's Bourbon Night. They are all about Tribeca glasses. I've done side-by-sides with the Glencairn and the Tribeca, and I haven't been a big fan, honestly. It's not my go-to. I prefer the wider bulb of a Glencairn. I think it really concentrates the aromas. Unless you have something really high proof, like a Stag Junior. It's I don't think it's necessary. I really don't think it's necessary. Yeah. DH Silv, I know. I just realized the Whiskey Dick went live at the same time I did. I didn't know that. I didn't know what time he went live, so that's my bad. But what time does he get done? Do you know? I'm going long today, so who knows? Maybe maybe he can send people over here. Yeah, in my whiskey glass review, guys, I chose the Glencairn as my go-to. I told you guys I was gonna put out a video of the best glass after putting whiskey in each one. Would you guys be interested in seeing a video about I guess like one type of bourbon, all in the same type of glass, or all in a different type of glass? Would you be interested in seeing that? Peter, you can't find that glass. Eric, yeah, so you're a big Scotch guy. Like, is Glencairn the go-to for Scotch then too? Because I have a Copita nosing glass, which is supposed to be the Scotch glass from what I was reading. You know, great for nosing and everything. But you always use a Glencairn typically, don't you, Eric? DH Silver, I appreciate you stopping in at least, though. Rydell Cognac glass. Interesting. Mike, I've heard the same thing about the Norling glasses. So I've heard they're extremely fragile, extremely thin. When I was doing my glass review on my channel, I was so tempted to pick up the Norling glasses, but they were like $48 for 2 glasses, and I was like, I can't bring myself to do that. There can't be much difference between that. it's very similar to even what a Glencairn is. It's literally like a Glencairn inside of an outer shell. So the Norland glass I figured would be very similar to what a Glencairn would be. I can't imagine much difference. And like you said, I've heard they're really fragile too, so I don't know why. I don't know what the big hype is. I guess maybe if I tried it, I'd say differently. But I couldn't bring myself to spend $50 on it. I mean, it was just too much. Oh, the Whiskey Dick canceled his stream but went live anyway. Okay, interesting. Okay, very cool, Eric. You're gonna meet up with him. Very nice. JP Bama, almost a plastic feel. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I heard they break so easily. That's just not something I want to deal with. You know, I said in my video, us whiskey drinkers can be a little violent sometimes. So we gotta have a sturdy, thick glass, you know. Peter, you usually use your Cut RL crystal glasses that you got from Winners for $5. Wow. Can't beat that. $5. How about that, huh? JP Bama, Norland has blade feathered in the bottom to add air. Interesting. Interesting. So the air helps just release some aromas in it, or is that what's supposed to do? Ernie, do you actually have some Norland glasses? Every review I've heard of them, they're so thin. The glass is so thin, and if you drop it at all, it's toast. Yeah, we need some girth to our glasses for sure. I know I do at least, especially after doing a flight like tonight, guys. For swirling, yep. Ernie, rocks glass is kind of a toss-up to me. It's like, rocks glass is a great glass, but if I'm ever drinking anything straight, and I usually drink my stuff straight, it's just, I can't do it. I can't get the nose. And it's even that way with the Canadian Glencairn a little bit. It's just such a wide nose. It's really hard to pick up notes on it. Yeah, even these Bourbon Trail glasses a little bit are pretty wide. It's much wider than a Glencairn. But I actually like these Bourbon Trail glasses. So side by side, I've been, like, if I go down for a drink at night, I've been randomly just picking up the Bourbon Trail glasses for whatever reason. I don't know, but I actually like them. And they came with this really cool serving stave, which I really like, actually. I feel like it's pretty fancy, and if you ever have people over, you want to do like a flight for someone, I feel like that's really cool. And I bought some mini snifter glasses, and they fit right there on the stave, so I think that's pretty cool. Oop. All right, Eric, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody give it a like and a subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed yet. I really appreciate y'all being here. This is my first one today, so first stream, I didn't know how it would go. I'll tell you though, the more I drink, the more comfortable I get, so I appreciate you guys for that. Yeah, Mike, obviously any old-fashioned Sazerac Manhattan, I mean, not as much Manhattan, I guess I use a cocktail glass for that, but any mixed drink is usually good in a rocks glass. That's what it's made for, really. A lot of people will add an ice ball to their drink or their whiskey in a rocks glass. But even if I add ice or water to a whiskey, for me, I still like to try to pick out the notes and the flavors I'm getting in that whiskey. So I prefer to still use a Glencairn or even like a Bourbon Trail glass or something. Alright guys, well I should probably think about wrapping up pretty quick here. I really appreciate you all being here tonight. It's my first stream. I know it was probably a little rough here and there. but I appreciate y'all being here. We had 20, 22 in the chat, probably at the most, which is much more than I expected for my first stream. I really thought I was going to be at maybe 1 or 2 people, honestly. That's it. So thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please do give this video a like and a subscribe. I appreciate you all being here. Every one of you, I really do appreciate. I know it might not feel like that, but you guys are all great. Thank you so much. And you guys have a good night, all right? Cheers to all of you.